That's right, folks. It's that time of year where Assassin's Creed is released. Usually, they have an Assassin's Creed every year. But lately, Ubisoft has really changed what Assassin's Creed is all about. They just released Origins last year, and now this year they bring out Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which seems to be one of the biggest and most in-depth games Ubisoft have created for the Assassin's Creed franchise. Will it be faltered like Unity or Syndicate was, or will it set the franchise to new heights like Origins did for me? This game looks stunning, it looks fun, and it looks like it's taken Assassin's Creed games to new heights. So let's talk about the top 10 reasons why I'm excited for this new Assassin's Creed. The first one, the Peloponnesian War. People don't understand that usually Assassin's Creed focuses around one conflict. It's usually the Templars versus the Brotherhood and the Assassins. That's usually what the game focuses around. But this is going to be the biggest conflict Assassin's Creed has ever tried to tackle, which is this Peloponnesian War. It's set in ancient Greece. It involves the Spartans versus the Athenians, along with plenty other city-states that involve religion and science. It's one of the most important times in history, people. The landscape is going to be set amazingly because of what the war is doing. There's going to be memorable characters, set pieces, and this is one of the biggest conflicts in history. This really set foundations for certain parts of government and how people handle problems today. It transcended history and the world. You are going to be right in the middle of it as a Spartan mercenary fighting in this Peloponnesian War. You'll have to fight in battlefields with battles as big as 150 versus 150, with captains, people you need to kill to turn the tide of the battle, and also go into different territories and islands and see who occupies it. You can make a choice if you want to fight for the Athenians or if you want to fight for the Spartans. It doesn't matter. It's your choice because you are a Spartan mercenary and you take no prisoners throughout the entire game because you're out there to have fun as a mercenary. You're out there to make money. You're there to turn the tide of the war any way you see fit. This is Assassin's Creed taking a different approach, and they're using this epic conflict as a sandbox for you to make difficult choices within the game. With that, we get Mercenaries. Mercenaries is one of the most important features that Odyssey is bringing to the Assassin's Creed franchise. It takes a page out of the book from Middle-earth: Shadow of War. It's a bounty system that has endless endgame for players to enjoy. Not only do they provide challenges for players to stand up to, but when you finally beat these mercenaries, who are boss types, you are able to get the best gear in the game, as one of the Odyssey developers said. It works like a GTA-style wanted system. You have 5 helmets, and as you do things factions don't appreciate, like killing innocent people or sabotaging military bases, they will hunt you down. Not only will they hunt you on the land, they will get their ships and follow you on the sea, or even in the battlefield with 150 versus 150 battles that you will see later. You can pay the bounty off or find the mercenary and kill them, but the system will evolve, just like Middle-earth: Shadow of Wars does, the Nemesis system. It's endless. It gives players a different type of feel that Assassin's Creed just hasn't had yet. The next big thing is collecting armor. There will be armor sets you can collect, including legendary gear, much like what we saw in Origins. Not only will there be certain quests that will help you get certain gear, but you can also hunt down certain gear for mercenaries that you can find around the world. Let's say you see a mercenary and you like his gear, but he's a little too high level for you. You can mark him and come back later to take his gear because you like the way it looks, or the stat bonuses are something that you want. This brings longevity to the game and can help users have endless amounts of content for the game, especially when you hit max level, where usually games tend to fall off because there's nothing else you can do in the world, but you would like to stay and play a little bit more. These full gear sets will be a great goal for players to strive for. This doesn't even include the legendary merchants that will give you the ability to buy legendary gear, and I think they change every week. So every week you could come back and strive for a goal of a different type of gear. Maybe the stat is better for you, so you can go fight that boss that you're having trouble with. You can collect gear because you like the way it looks. It's very endgame focused, and that's what a lot of players love to have: longevity in their game and reasons to come back and play. The next big feature coming to Assassin's Creed Odyssey is naval battles. Not only do you have a ship, that you can take onto the seas and explore the entire map. You also have a crew on there. Naval ship aspects in Odyssey seem to have a huge part of the game. It will add such a unique experience for the gamer, much like Black Flag did when that released. You will be able to upgrade your ship any way you see fit, and it'll cater to the way you want to fight on your ship. Not only that, when you take down ships and board them, you will be able to recruit the men that fight alongside you. They will help you in the battle and also give you stats towards your ship, so you can mix and match. It brings up a different dynamic that Assassin's Creed never had, making you customize the ship and upgrade it. And again, putting in RPG elements into everything the game has to offer. One of the other biggest things I'm looking forward to is the mythical creatures. We're going to have Minotaurs, Medusa, Cyclops, Hercules, and more from Atlantis. All these creatures seem to be hidden in the world, much like they were in Assassin's Creed Origins. They seem to be very difficult to fight, again, very similar to Assassin's Creed Origins. They are catered for the higher level fights. When you level up and upgrade your character, get good armor, you get more prepared for the fight, you bring up your stats, and that's what they're there for. They're there for an achievement, spectacle, and also putting Assassin's Creed in a different genre almost. Usually it's very realistic. They keep it grounded. But with this, they tackle the myths within the Greek culture and Greek stories. It seems very out of the box thinking, and one of the features that I look extremely forward to playing, because I love seeing those type of gameplay mechanics and the way the boss fights are. It brings variety to the game. Another huge aspect coming to Assassin's Creed is RPG elements. This was hinted at during Origins last year. You were able to upgrade your weapons, use different type of weapons, and upgrade your stats with your armor. But now, you'll be able to choose a character you want, Alexios or Cassandra. You'll have dialogue choices. You'll be able to choose to fight for the Spartans or the Athenians throughout the story, just like the Peloponnesian War. And using the setting of the Peloponnesian War, you'll be able to fight for the Spartans or the Athenians and tip the war in whichever scale you seem fit or whichever faction you find the most appealing to you. There are going to be abilities. You'll be able to fight in any style you want because of the abilities available. You can go warrior, you can go stealth, you can go ranged. And they all have branches that you can pick on. And there's romance. You'll be able to talk to characters and develop a relationship with those characters. It's something that Assassin's Creed has sorely missed. And you'll have multiple endings. All your choices throughout the game will impact the ending, and it gives you a lot of replayability. It's one of the features that is completely new to Assassin's Creed. Usually it's very linear, and the story choices you make don't affect the overall story because you're following history and someone else's story. So this is a great aspect that has never been done before in Assassin's Creed and something that we want to see tackled. One of the biggest differences from this Assassin's Creed and the others is that there's combat customization. You're not a true Spartan because you're a mercenary. You fight on your own, and you have all these abilities that you can use and upgrade. You fight for money, and you have a very active and dynamic fighting style. You move around, you're flexible. You have abilities that are a little robust. It's based on the Origins hitbox and combat system that was reevaluated last time. You have more activity and flexibility, but no shield because you're a very offensive fighter. It's a change Assassin's Creed had to take because their combat was starting to feel very stale. So having your combat be customizable to the way the player wants to play is a change that Assassin's Creed sorely needed, and one that is a warm welcome. Because I would love to have different types of fighting style. I don't want to fight like everybody else. I want to pick my own that fits my style, my brand, and the character I create. And with that comes another feature. No assassins. This could be the start of something cool, like the Templars. We don't know. Is this the story of the Templars that we're learning, since we're not assassins? You start off with the broken spear of Leonidas, as that will serve as your hidden blade. You're a descendant of Leonidas, a relative, and you take that with you as you go. You understand Leonidas' history, you understand the Spartan history, but you were exiled. You're not a Spartan. So who are you? A mercenary. That's the point of the game. You create your own story. You're not living true history in this game. We don't know a lot about the story elements, but we do know that there's no assassins. From what I've seen, there's a lot of twists and turns in the story from what people have said. I haven't been spoiled, which I hope I'm not. And a lot of people have confirmed that it is a very engaging story. So this type of feature makes it worthwhile to check out the game. And with all these features, of course you need a sprawling world to make the game. And that's why this is the biggest world in the franchise's history. Photo mode is in it. You'll be able to take photos across amazing mountains. You'll be able to climb high, see all of Greece. all the beautiful waters, the ships, the land, the cities. You'll have dynamic weather in the game. Greece was one of the reasons why they made the game into an RPG element, because there's so much variety. There's different types of weather. There's different types of environment. There's going to be snow. You can have sprawling vistas. You can have sprawling beaches. You can have amazing looking water. You can go into different areas. In 10 minutes, you can be in the snow, and then 5 minutes later, you can be in a sunny beach. That's the whole point of the game. That's the whole point of Greece and why it's such a unique setting. They didn't just take all those elements and mush them together. They made them into a dynamic world that you're going to feel lived in. And it's one of the biggest reasons why Assassin's Creed is what it is because you feel immersed into their game. And that brings me to my final topic: Season Pass, DLC, and weekly updates. This is going to be the biggest supported Assassin's Creed game because they will have a full year of not releasing an Assassin's Creed game next year. The developers announced, and Ubisoft announced, that next year they won't have an Assassin's Creed. So with that, they're going to release 2 separate DLC story modes: Legacy of the Hidden Blade, which will have 3 episodes with story, which we don't know much details about, but everybody's excited to see the first Hidden Blade being used. And then there's going to be The Fate of Atlantis, which will have another 3 episodes again, but might have mythical creatures in it, much like the second DLC of Origins did. Not only would you get that, you'll get Assassin's Creed 3 remastered with 4K HDR and enhanced game mechanics and combat mechanics. Not to mention you'll get free content and quests. They'll all coincide with the Lost Tales of Greece, which will be events that they spread out in between the episodes they release with the DLC. All this will help the gamer collect exotic gear when you fight mercenaries and legendary ships and mythical creatures, building up your character to be the strongest it can. There will never be an ending to it. It'll be an everlasting game that is ever evolved. With all of this, there will be a New Game Plus, so you could collect all this and then play the game again on New Game Plus. It's going to be the most supported endgame that Ubisoft has done to an Assassin's Creed game, and it's very exciting to see. Well, everyone, that's the list. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I'm looking forward to this game, and I hope this list showed you that this game is one of the best coming out this year and should be one of your most anticipated games, because it is mine. I'm looking forward to diving deep into the Greek mythology, diving deep into the Greek history, going into the Peloponnesian War, choosing a side that I want to fight for, and not to mention collecting all these legendary gear and seeing these mythical creatures. It's going to be a freaking badass time. So like always, everybody, leave a like, subscribe, and enjoy your gaming. Later.